Case number 4, perfection to my erection. Location, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Marcelo had always suspected God had a sense of humor. He just hadn't realized the joke was apparently anatomical. The revelation arrived during a study group in Ipanema. Their facilitator, Renata, read aloud, "I am as God created me." Marcelo closed his eyes. The room became very still. Something in the sentence felt clean, spacious, innocent. Then his ego leaned forward. Exactly. Marcelo opened one eye. He had been working hard on accepting himself, his body, his age, his imperfections. And now the course had apparently settled the matter. God created him. Therefore, perfect, everywhere. He looked down briefly, especially there. The next morning, his friend João found him standing shirtless on the balcony overlooking the street. "You're up early." "I had a spiritual breakthrough." João poured coffee. "Those are becoming frequent. I finally understand body acceptance." "That sounds healthy. No shame, no guilt, no false humility. Still healthy." Marcelo turned dramatically. "I am as God created me." João waited. Marcelo raised his eyebrows. João sighed. "What did you do to the lesson?" "Nothing. I accepted it." "That expression on your face suggests editing." At the beach later, Marcelo walked with the relaxed confidence of a man who believed theology had personally endorsed his genetics. A woman smiled at him. Confirmation. Another woman looked away. Intimidated by perfection. A third asked him to move because he was blocking the sun. Radiance. By lunchtime, he had developed an entire philosophy. "The problem," he told João, "is that men have been taught to feel inadequate. Some have. We need to reclaim divine confidence." "Fine. The body is not the self." "Correct. But while we have one," João put down his sandwich. "Please don't finish that sentence." Marcelo finished it internally. That evening, he attended a rooftop gathering overlooking Copacabana. Music played softly. People danced. Someone passed around fruit. Marcelo met Ana, a photographer visiting from São Paulo. They talked for 20 minutes. She was funny, direct, and entirely unimpressed by his spiritual vocabulary. Marcelo found this attractive. Eventually, he told her about his breakthrough. "I'm learning radical self-acceptance. That's good. No shame about the body. Also good. I've realized perfection isn't arrogance if it's simply true." Ana tilted her head. "Perfection? As God created me." She stared at him for a moment. "Are you talking about your soul or your penis?" Marcelo nearly inhaled a grape. João, standing nearby, walked away immediately. Marcelo recovered. "I'm talking about wholeness." "Wonderful. And the body can reflect confidence." "Marcelo, yes? You're talking about your penis." He lowered his voice. "Not exclusively." Ana laughed. "That is the most male sentence I've heard all week." Marcelo felt misunderstood. He also felt strangely relieved. Ana continued, "Maybe the teaching means your worth doesn't depend on whether your body impresses anybody." Marcelo blinked. "That sounds less exciting." Probably why the ego skipped it. Later that week, Renata's group discussed false humility. Marcelo raised his hand. "Can accepting divine perfection become grandiosity?" Renata smiled. "Immediately." The group laughed. "No, seriously. So am I." She continued. "If you say, 'I am as God created me,' what is the I?" Marcelo knew this was a trap. The self. And is the self competing? No. Trying to impress? No. Comparing measurements? The room went silent. Marcelo looked at João. "You told her?" "I didn't have to." Renata said, "The ego can hear a universal truth and immediately ask, 'What does this say about my specialness?'" Marcelo felt heat rise into his face. "Now, so body confidence is wrong?" "No. Shame isn't required. Confidence isn't wrong. Bodies are bodies." She paused. "But divine innocence doesn't need a ranking system." That landed. Not painfully, more like a balloon slowly losing air. After the meeting, Marcelo walked alone toward the beach. The ocean was dark blue under the evening sky. Surfers paddled out. Couples walked barefoot along the sand. An old man stretched beside the promenade. A teenager struggled to carry 3 chairs at once. Nobody seemed to be demonstrating perfection. Nobody seemed disqualified from it either. Marcelo began laughing. João caught up. "What? I think I confused 'I am as God created me' with 'God has excellent taste in men.'" João nodded. "That was roughly the problem." Marcelo looked toward the water. "So perfection isn't about the body being perfect. Good. Or being impressive. Very good. Or being God's gift to women." João stopped walking. "Were you saying that too?" "Only privately." "Thank God." Marcelo smiled. Something had become simpler. His body didn't need condemnation. It also didn't need canonization. It could simply be a body. Beautiful sometimes, awkward sometimes, useful, temporary, completely unnecessary as evidence of divine favor. A few days later, Anna texted him, "How's divine perfection?" Marcelo replied, "Still perfect." Then added, "Apparently not for the reasons I thought." She sent back, "Progress." Marcelo stared at the message. His ego whispered, "She's definitely interested." Marcelo laughed. Easy. For once, he let a smile be a smile and left God out of his pants.